Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Can't complain. I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to hop up on our Youth of Mentorship podcast.
Of course.
So now, Ivyanna, did I pronounce your name right?
It's Ivyanna.
Ivyanna. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Ivyanna. So Ivyanna, introduce yourself to the good people, and break down a little bit about the geographics a little bit, because some of our young viewers are in parts of Eastern and Western Africa. So break down who Ivyanna is all the way back to the 409. Is that Beaumont or Galveston?
Oh my. Yeah.
Beaumont. Okay, okay. So break down a little bit of the story of Ivyanna for us.
All right. Well, my name's Ivyanna Lewis. I'm from Beaumont, Texas, and I'm a freshman in college running track. Um, I started out playing basketball in middle school, but my dad was like, you'd be better on the track. So I started doing that instead. And then I didn't really realize that I wanted to take it serious until maybe like 11th grade. So then I started looking in like, oh, I want to run in college. How do I do that? So it's like I really had to figure it all out on my own. My dad went to school for football and everything, but track and football is like way different. So it was really like me figuring it out along the way. And now I'm here. Now I'm just here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So it's interesting. You're like the third track and field athlete on the show that started out playing basketball. So that's pretty that's pretty interesting. Now, who are some of your role models and mentors growing up? You talked about your dad briefly. Who are some of your other role models and mentors growing up?
Well, my dad is honestly like my number one. Like me and him are really close, and him being an athlete, he really could be more like hands on with my career and help me and guide me and stuff like that. And he's also an athlete still to this day. He's a trainer for boxing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Now, what college are you currently at, Ivyanna?
Currently, I'm at Neosho County Community College. It's a small school in Kansas.
Okay, okay. Now, um, what's a typical like day in the life as far as a student athlete like yourself? How does your day start and how does your day usually end?
Okay. For
Put you on the
starters,
spot.
it really it really depends on what day it is because every day we're always doing something different. We're always busy. A typical, let's say Friday. Let's talk about today. Friday, I woke up this morning. I had class. You can either go to class physically or you can attend on Zoom. Today I did on Zoom because it just wasn't that kind of day to leave a room. But we have that, and then usually we'll have weights 2 or 3 times a week. But since we have a track meet tomorrow, we didn't have weights today, and we just did pre-meet, which is where we as a team we meet up and we all like just do dynamic drills and stretch and stuff like that, and just do like a couple last minute things before our race the next day.
Okay.
So Fridays are usually like a chill day, but if you want to go to like a busy day like Monday or Tuesday, it's crazy.
Okay. Now, with things get kind of hectic sometimes, what would you say are the biggest differences, Aviana, between competing at the high school level versus competing at the JUCO or college levels? What are like some of the biggest
Ooh,
differences that you've noticed?
okay. High school track is, go to practice, be with your team, your friends. It's fun. And if you fast, then hey, you're fast. But like college, like you it's not really supposed to be fun. It's like this is you either fast or you gotta go.
Okay.
Like it's just how it is. It's more of a business in college than it is in high school.
And I'm glad you mentioned that for some of our young student athletes, especially our runners. Um, it can become a business sometimes because, colleges and programs, they're trying to compete. They're not just happy just to be out there. They're trying to place. So, um, as far as events, what are like your main go-to events, and what are events that you used to do that you kind of put to the wayside?
Well, right now my main event is the 400. I do the 200 as well. And back in like middle school when I first ever touched the track, I did the 100, but my dad was like, "You need to do the 4. Like that's what you're good at." So that's what I do now. I've ran the 800 maybe like twice.
Okay, so mainly that 400 is that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Okay, now how did you come about getting to the 400? Because I know growing up in Detroit, Michigan, I ran high school track for a high school football and track powerhouse. And once I got on the program, like our program was so large that you actually had to try out for it. And the coach pretty much was like, okay, uh, where are you from? Some of the kids are saying, you're some of the upperclassmen say you're African. How about we get you started running distance? And my response was, coach, I'm not really a distance runner. I'm a sprinter. So I kind of had to help him help me find my sweet spot event. How did you get about to that 400, Ivyanna?
All right. Well, when I first started, I was a 100, 200 girl. I was good, but I wasn't like top in the nation or anything like that. So as I started to get more serious with my career, I asked my dad like, well, like what should I do? Like, what can I do? Because I really want to go to the next level with this. Like I want to go to college for this. And he was like, okay, well, if think about it, like you running 1 and 2, you're good at it, but like you're not going to regional, you're not going to state or anything like that. Like you just like winning first place in a heat is way different than winning an entire track meet.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was like, just try the 400, see how it works. The first time I ever ran, I did terrible. I ran like a minute and 20 seconds. And it was it took a lot for me to actually get good at it, but when I actually got good at it, I was like, okay, I'm doing way better than everybody else at this.
Okay. Okay. So,
And so
you know, I get a sense of like perseverance, like you stuck with it. That first try wasn't necessarily like a success like in the movies.
yeah, but he it was really more of like not seeing what it is right now, but seeing what it can turn into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the JUCO scene, you're out in Kansas. Now, what are your goals as far as some of the 4-year programs that you're looking at? Do you have like a Kansas, K-State, or are you looking more towards the schools back home in Texas? Because you have a lot of options.
Yeah, I'm really looking more to go back to the South. Kansas has been treating me well, but I like the South, so I'd like to go back.
Now, we talking about just being homesick? Is it the food? Is it the familiar faces? What's like the biggest draw for you to return back to Texas?
Honestly, just being around civilization, because where I'm at, it's empty. There's no one here. Like we don't have a mall. Like the only place we can go for fun is Walmart. That's the only
And I was
place.
just about to say, is there Walmart?
Yeah.
Now, what are the pluses? Like what's the plus side being like in a small area when you're a student athlete? What's kind of like the pros instead of the cons? Like, what are some of the pros?
Well, you're less likely to get distracted by anything since there's nothing to distract you. And I guess being in like a small area and a small community, you feel like you have more people you can depend on. Like it's not like you're not just this all alone in this big scary world. Like you're still learning and growing with everyone else around you.
Okay, okay. Now, Ivyanna, one of the big things that we look for on the show is people that are on the up and up. And one thing that really stood out about you is you're not just an athlete. You seem to be building your own brand. Um,
Mhm.
where do you kind of get that idea from, and what kind of inspired you to start building your own brand?
Well, I mean, at first it was really just me being myself, and for whatever reason, that just made people want to follow me. But now more people are starting to say, like, you have a platform now, like you should do something with that. I don't really know it yet what I want to do, but I do know if I do something, it's gonna be big, and I'm really gonna like give it my all.
Excellent, excellent. Now, not to look too far ahead, but as far as the shoe companies, and putting you on the spot a little bit, Ivyanna, are you more of a like a Nike, Adidas? What's your go-to running these meets?
Um, that I don't know, cause I like a lot of brands. Um, okay, if I had to pick one, I'd go with I'll go with Adidas. Yeah.
Adidas, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Why Adidas?
Oh, because Ivy Park did a collab with Adidas, and I really like Beyonce.
Nice. Okay, okay. Because I'm sure you look also looking at the comfort, the fit, maybe the color schemes. What's the colors? What's the colors of your current school?
Oh, orange and black.
Okay, orange and black. Okay, so you probably want a shoe line that has enough variety in the color schemes if you're big into kind of matching what you got on.
Yeah.
Now, if they were to do a movie about Ivyanna so far, who would play you and why?
Oh wow.
Put you
Okay.
on the spot again.
Oh. Hmm. I think Storm Reed would do a really good job playing me.
Okay, now
That's
and why Storm Reed?
well, I've been told by like a few people that like we resemble, like we could be cousins or something. But
Uh-huh.
that, and because I really admire her like as an actress. And like we're like around the same age, and she's so successful and stuff. So like it's good to have someone your age to look up to.
That's a fact. That's kind of one of the biggest draws with this podcast, where we kind of we try to mix it up for the young people to kind of see what they could aspire to be. If you could list 3 words that describe Ivyanna, what are those 3 words and why?
Um, Unpredictable.
Okay.
Um, Humble
Mm.
and fast.
And that makes sense. Obviously you need your speed for what you're into, but the humble part, that's really important for our young viewers. Especially when they meet someone they look up to, that first impression. Some people have a horrible experience when they meet somebody that they look up to, and that person comes off as kind of stuck up. Have you
Yeah.
had that misfortune so far?
Yes. Yes, I have. I mean, most people, well, not most people, everyone. Usually they're like, "Oh, I always thought you were so stuck up, but I talked to you. You're so nice." I don't know. It's just don't judge a book by its cover. I guess.
That's a fact. Don't judge a book by its cover. Now, Ivyanna, COVID has presented some challenges for some of our high school athletes, as far as getting enough footage together, getting noticed, and even just simple training outside of like a high school facilities and stuff like that.
Mhm.
What advice would you have for young track runners that are trying to get noticed at the college level?
Social media is your best friend. No one ever says that, but honestly, that's true. Like all the coaches have Twitter, they see everything.